Hello and welcome to Gardeners World 2017 and Mickfield Hosters at the show. And this view of the stand is rather special to me because the Plantaginia poster is actually fixed and staying up. I've had a little bit of a trial with that particular poster. It's the first time I've used it and the humidity in here wasn't allowing the Velcro to adhere to the back of the vinyl. But anyway, some of you who have seen the Malvern stand will recognise the setup I have here for the first part of the stand, which is looking at Venusta and Nakayana. I've got Katie Q on the top of the ladder and some other Venusta offspring, from Abbey to Goldrop to Tick-Tock to Gumdrop. And then I've got Valentine Lace here, which I think is such a handsome plant. That's a Nakayana offspring on the larger side than the ones we're used to from Nakayana, which include Teaspoon, got Twist of Line down here, and Florodora, which is a dear little plant. It's quite an old variety, but it's beautiful. And then underneath we have Harry Van Trier and Drummer Boy, both from Nakayana. And in front of those I've got a couple of Seboldiana, or 3 Seboldiana offspring. I've got Radiant Edger and Olympic Edger from the Edger series, and Gold Rush in the middle. There we go, it's Olympic Edger, beautiful. And then I've done a little feature on Tardiana offspring because I haven't got any of the Tardiana group with me, but I've got some of the offspring from that group, including Slim and Trim at the front there, Autumn Frost, Walk on Thin Ice, and Catherine Lewis. And in front, breaking it up a little bit, is Mrs. Minky, which is another Seboldiana offspring. And my Plantaginia poster, there we go, nice and in place. The fragrant varieties I've used to highlight Plantaginia is Avocado, a rather gorgeous Irish Luck, and Cathedral Windows. And then Seboldiana again, we can't really do a stand without Seboldiana. I have Sunshine Glory, Olive Bailey Langdon, Faith. If I just whiz you back along here, I put Inniswood over near the ladder. There's Inniswood looking lovely, the flowers coming out. And then we have Paradigm on the end with Satisfaction. And just drop down here to Chain Lightning, which I haven't used so far this year. In fact, I don't know that I've used it at all. So first time outing for Chain Lightning. So we're down to the other side of the stand now, looking at Origins. And I thought I'd do a little feature on a star that is Gold Standard, which is an old variety. It's actually been responsible for some very popular modern cultivars. And there's 2 arms we've chosen to feature this time. One is Striptease, which is a sport of Gold Standard, and that's produced a lot of very interesting varieties that have centre stripes of different sorts. I've got Risky Business here, which has a solid centre stripe and a lovely twist to the leaf. As that matures more, it gets even more twisted. It's lovely. And I've got Dua down here, which changes colour during the season. It has a much more matte yellow colour to the edge of to the margins of the leaf, which then sort of bleeds through with green, so it creates sort of a layered effect, almost like a leaf within a leaf. It's rather lovely. And Striptease, Snake Eyes, which comes from Striptease, which, as you can see, has a much bolder white stripe between the centre colour and the leaf margin. It's rather eye-catching, that one. And then the other side of Gold Standard, I've used Captain Kirk at the back there with Starship and Vulcan. More handsome plants from Gold Standard. And around the propagation side and the cultivation side, I've looked again at key trends, and I've put Snail Central in, which we'll go to in a moment. I've got Yin here, which has an unknown parentage, so I didn't put anything on the label there, so I didn't want to avoid confusion. Tango here, which is absolutely lovely. It's an old variety from Nakayana. And a little bit about the soil mix that we use. And in my copper scuttle, I have Ophia, which actually it's got some rather lovely red stems to it, and when the sunlight catches those, they actually look almost sparkly. At the back I have Neptune that's showing developments in plant shape. Celtic uplands here, that if I zoom in on the stems there, you'll see how deep red they are. They're absolutely beautiful. I love Celtic uplands because of that fantastic leaf on top. It's textured and it's glossy and the form of it is beautiful. In front of that I've got a good old favourite, Praying Hands, and that's highlighting things like pest resistance and shape again. And on Snail Central I've got Blue Mouse Ears, which is starting to flower and looking lovely, and Slim and Trim, and all the sort of hints and tips about how to deal with the pesky varmints that are snails. And inside the boots I have Silver Lance and Lancifolia, highlighting, just put that up again, highlighting the ones that have edible leaves. The other ones are edible if you treat them like asparagus, so when they come up in the spring you harvest them like asparagus and cook them in the same way, and there you have it. And that sums up our stand for Birmingham this year. And just come around the other side of it and you'll see David waiting for people to come in. They had to move judging this year because of the show's proximity to the new RHS show at Chatsworth, and so judging was done first thing on the first day. And there you have it.